Hello from your corner. It's a good morning or afternoon from where you are. If you are in the afternoon, it's fine. If the morning, it's okay. I'm very happy you have joined me on this talk is day or this microphone. The channel you have seen it. Thank you so much for coming. Before going too far, I want to introduce this topic. I'm going to discuss about who is responsible for strengthening the family ties. I saying this now, many people are struggling in their marriages. Those who are not yet married, they say, "How am I gonna marry?" And those who have been in marriage, they say, "How am I gonna stay?" And others have now break the egg and they have gone out. So this is the issue. So children are crying on the street, and those who were singing good songs now they are now crying. This is a topic that's now shaking families alongside your community and even our community. But now let's see if this is the interesting topic to be discussed. You are in a marriage? Say yes or no. Divorced? You have no reason. And if you're not yet in the marriage, no, you are searching and know how to choose the bride or the groom. Let's have now, in African cultures, before now coming to the education, families, they were being grown from other families. Yeah. Families were being grown from other families, which means the parents, they would see their children are growing so high and in number of years or in abilities, and they say, me, I have a bride. My other friend also had the groom. Let's join our hands and then continue with this relationship. I have something which is going to grow from our union and then have our family going to the generations. That time, they were the angels of the new words. They were the angels because they would be there and arrange their marriage and even do their best for the couple to stay together. If there was some kind of misunderstanding between the words, the spouses or the new family that has been formed from those families, one of those parents would say, "Let me take a step. It's my son who is being wrong. Now let's have them sit together and discuss this matter and dive deep and find a way for this couple to stay together." You remember in those times, it is the time where children were belonging to everyone. The community was having in charge. Every child would have all the basic social needs that were being provided by the community. Because now every man was responsible for every house because no one knew if their child was not theirs. So coming back to the other countries like the West, let's have America and even Europe. And in the East, we're going to see in the Japan or Korea if they are now going to be the families in the way we do imagine. So imagine our new era having education, formal education, which is going to diverse things now, changing the matter and having the weight, even the spouses go to choose for themselves. So in the previous videos in another language, you discussed about the very basic things you have to see when you want to find a spouse. But now we want to see if those things, maybe the economic status or something affiliation like social status, I don't know. But what you based on is something I cannot force you to think of it the other way. But I want to say who will be responsible for the families now which are being broken in these days. Before going to the topic straight, let's have these benefits to discuss about the effects of having the families broken. Yeah. So when families have broken, you know the most affected people are the children. Yeah. Children. They are already vulnerable, but they do not have anyone to look up on. Some of them are found in the street, and others are found in the people's exploitation in people's hands who are going to make benefits from them. That is becoming somehow normal, and people are cherishing the status of the children because now some guys are investing in having those children on the street. They're getting money. So those who are getting money from those children, they don't even think about the strength of the families because now they're investing, they're making money. So they're coming in NGOs or coming in the associations that are preventing the kind of delinquency, but they say they need beneficiaries over their programs. Think of that. So after diving in the effects of their divorces. We are talking about the children, but you cannot talk about the weight, those who have been broken. So who gonna have that wife who has been in someone's house? Not very few people are interested in having the wife who has been a wife to someone. On the other side, depending on the marriage market, maybe a man can remarry so easily, but we do even think of having the kind of twist. Other girls are going to think, what can be this reason of this husband to divorce? Won't it be the same reason for me to be divorced? By that time, we are put in a corner where people can think of you from so many things, even though we can be victim over the time, but they gonna think of you in a given way. So the angels from the parents who were looking after the families in the previous days are no more. Are no more. Sometimes your father and your mother have no say up in your marriage. It's because when you are going to find your spouse, you never informed them about how or the process you're gonna use to make them feel proud as the mother-in-law, father-in-law. They found you having a wife, or even you went to their families to invite them to come into your marriage. Which means now parents are having a minimal role in preparing new families to be in the place, which is now going to prevent them from having some kind of advice to put them on the table to the new words. But now, whether be you or someone who gave you pieces of advice, who's gonna be responsible for your marriage? Who's gonna be responsible? I posted a short on YouTube, and I asked who's going to be responsible for these families that are being broken day to day and having the content on the table. We ask ourselves the origin of the families. Some are raised by their parents. Traditions are going to give you energy to get married. Others being influenced by the intellectual abilities and choose for themselves those people who are going to strengthen their sides, and others are going to be pushed by spiritual way. They pray for someone, that someone comes. Among the three, tradition, personal engagement, and spiritual life, will it be your pastor, your father, your mother, yourself, or your teacher? I would love to host someone who has who has been in a marriage and then they have that chance of not staying in the marriage, and then we discuss about that topic to have it on the head. However, before going to the end, I can say this as like a kind of advice I can give to the new words or those people who are trying to find people to stay together. You can ask yourself why people from the diaspora need people from their countries. Why? The why gives you the real reason of trying to find someone who knows your culture, who understands your language, even who responds in a way that will give you peace. The people you know. If you know someone is abroad, they have beautiful women, beautiful girls from Nigeria, from Botswana, from America, from Europe, from Ghana, but they really want people from their own countries to be there together to have family. Why? The because is that you need someone who understands you, who understands the language, who knows your traditions, and who obeys the way of your fathers or your mothers. Traditions are being passed through you to your children to someone else. These guys goes to the guys who wake in the morning and they go to find girls to make them wives. The girls you have never known before. You know their church, you know their traditions, you know even how they were raised. Then you expect them to have the culture of respecting the man in the way your family does. For that girl who wakes in the morning and go on the street and they meet a boy in the bar, in the club, in the church, Gonna say, oh, this is as a man of God. Now I can say I'm gonna dive in the relationship and then have the kind of squeezing behaviors and go deep to have them in my side, have them as my spouse. Tomorrow morning, you don't know how their father was treating their mother. I tell you the truth. You cannot go beyond the mercy their mothers got in the past. There's something very strange but understandable. You can imagine yourself wake up in the morning, you meet someone on the street, you're being pushed by your time, how old you are, and even being pushed by how you have been staying in the economics. Then say, I now got someone to strengthen my side. Let's go. Let's go have a marriage. That's one of the things which is going to shake you when you have built the marriage after. Traditions. Traditions is a very big something that you have to know, because in the time or that time you react like your father. In the time or the other time you react like your mother. In the time or the other time you react like your uncle, your aunt. Which means through genetics, something from the traditions of your area has been passed through. And in you have your father. And in you have your mother. Something that raises unconsciously and then find yourself being like your father. Like your mother. That's why now you need to understand. If someone cannot understand your family, they're unlikely to understand you. Tradition, something big. That's cross morals. Because when you go to the intellectual abilities and the academics you have now gathered, your diploma in this and that, that's have a minimal role in building the family. That's have minimal role. You cannot say because I'm a master degree holder or I'm PhD holder, I will have a good marriage. No. Traditions. Yeah, traditions. Traditions are stronger in men and in women, and the other side, they're strengthened by the spiritual side. Who is your pastor? Who is her pastor? Yeah. The spiritual growth is being influenced by who? So the other guys have got chance to read the Bible or other spiritual books. They have the word on their hearts. They have spiritual powers that are going to guide them by building their families, to stop them from doing this and to stop them from doing that. That's the way now you're going to hook and say, now this is the right person who is going to be healed inside their hearts by the time I have wronged them, even before I ask for pardon. You cannot be there all the time to say, I'm sorry. You need that someone to have the power in themselves to be sorry to you, even before you ask for that. This is where you say traditions and even spiritual manners are very important in building the families. Crossing around, spiritual growth cannot be earned alone except the time you are being influenced by yourself. And yourself is no more even before you join the community. The person who is responsible to your marriage is not someone, but the two spouses considering the community norms. If you have no one to fear, if you have no one to respect, not respecting yourself, not respecting the community, and not even respecting the way you think God created men or women to behave, you're going to have divorce. Absolutely. You need three things in yourself: to respect the community, and have on mind who or how do you think God created the community to be. Only that can prevent you from having the divorce. The fear of men, fear of yourself, and the fear of God. That's now how we're going to have now the conclusion of this talk. But I invite you to join this topic by writing in the comment side. What do you think about marriage and how the divorces can be stopped, and even how can we prevent families from engaging themselves in the things they think are not able to handle? Thank you so much. This is Jedone on the microphone. Thank you for staying with me. If it's the first time to hook on this channel, please hit subscribe. I love you so much. Stay like that. Have a nice evening or a good day. Thank you so much.